Welcome in, Eagles fans, to the boys basketball season preview here on CHCAEagles.com and ESP Media, powered by Sidearm Sports. My name is Jason Griefer. We're happy to be joined by boys basketball head coach Scott Rooks here today to discuss the upcoming season. Scott, appreciate the time here. As we record this here on the 29th of November, your season has actually already gotten started over the weekend against Harrison. Interesting one, to say the least, a 43-42 win. I know that's not necessarily the style of game you like to play, but we look at the way this game shakes out. Your team shoots just 34% from the floor and turns it over 20 times, still finds a way to win. I mean, you're shaking your head at the 20 turnovers would make any coach shake their head. But take us through this game and how it went, and also your thoughts and your ability of your team to find a way to win an ugly game like this.
Well, first off, you got to give credit to Harrison. I mean, they did a good job of taking the air out of the ball and trying to reduce the possessions. They know we want to get up and down a little bit, so they did a good job of reducing the possessions and having long possessions. And the pressure bothered us a little bit in the half court. Like you said, the 20 turnovers. I mean, I don't think I slept that night because of that number. We like to cut that number in half, so that 20 was brutal. But like you said, to have all those things, 20 turnovers, we didn't play well. We were down a couple of guys, and still being able to gut out that win kind of shows our mettle a little bit. And I was very pleased that we did not play well, and we were able to beat a Division I team to open up the season. So that was great.
You look at the way this team shakes out this year. Obviously, a very nice season a year ago, 17-4 season overall, finishing second in the division. And we're going to talk about the conference a little bit later on here on the preview. But you lost a lot from last year's team. Obviously, Jonathan Stokes is gone. He was first team all conference last year. You also lost 6 other seniors from that team. So a lot of guys gone, a lot of new guys coming in here. What's been the biggest challenge for you in sort of retooling your roster to get them ready for this season to challenge, of course, for the division title?
Well, the biggest thing was just our off-season workouts. I mean, I had 100% buy-in from all of our guys. I mean, they came to every single thing we did for 5 months now. So our buy-in was tremendous. Our guys got a lot better in the off-season, and we have some key guys coming back. Eric Rakestraw, who was second team all conference, he's back. I think he's got a chance to be player of the year this year in our league, although he struggled a little bit against Harrison there. Mm-hmm. He's going to be tremendous for us. We have Jake Fisher coming back as a senior. He's kind of replacing Stokes in that role as our sniper, our shooter. He had one of the best off seasons that I've ever had with a player. I mean, his junior year, he was kind of a standstill shooter, and that was kind of it. So now he puts the ball on the ground. He attacks the rim. He's shooting the ball tremendously well. So Jake Fisher is going to be a huge piece for us. A guy that probably doesn't get a lot of attention is Ryan Matheson. He was not there against Harrison. He'll be back for us Friday. He's kind of our Energizer bunny. He makes us go. He's one of the hardest workers I've ever coached. He's an absolute animal. He just flies around and causes havoc, and he's just that role guy that every coach loves to have. So we get him back. And then, I think all the coaches' favorite player on our team is Jack Vogley. I mean, the kid's an absolute workhorse. He's just an animal. He flies around. We talk about winning plays all the time. And end of the game, we're down under a minute to go, and he dives on the floor to get a loose ball, calls timeout, and gives us that opportunity to take the lead. He also took 2 charges. He got 9 rebounds. I mean, he's just an animal. And then, as you said, retooling. I can't talk about Weston Roberts enough. He's a kid that transferred in from Moeller High School. He's going to be our point guard. He kind of makes us go, and he's tremendously skilled, crazy athletic. He's like 5'10", and he can boom it with ease. He's really, really good, and he'll play at the next level. So that's kind of how we retooled our team.
When you go through an offseason like this, when you lose so many players and you're trying to bring new guys in, as you said, bringing Weston and transferring from Moeller as well, he has to get used to playing with a whole new crop of players as well. How long has that process taken to where you are feeling comfortable with the lineup that you have? Are you working from that like early summer? Does that not happen until August? How long does that take to really build up to where you feel like you have yourself a good solid rotation, or is that still a work in progress?
I think that's 100% still a work in progress. He has to Wes has to sit a couple games here, so we won't even get him back for a couple games. So then it's almost like we're starting over again because now he has to get back in the flow of things. And so, yeah, that's going to be a work in progress. Honestly, that might be, halfway point of the season where I feel like we're really starting to click and everything's gelling and we're rolling a little bit.
You mentioned Eric Rakestraw a moment ago, and of course, he's going to be your returning leading scorer from a year ago, and you felt he's a guy that could be a player of the year candidate within the league. Struggled against Harrison, as we talked about, 8 points, but he also had 8 turnovers in that game as well. How is he adjusting with all the guys from last year gone? As you said, Wes coming in from Moeller. And are you looking at him as the guy as to say, like, this is our leader this year?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He was a unanimous team captain. His work ethic is tremendous. He's a leader. He gets on guys when he needs to get on guys, which is what you want out of your leaders. Now he's also playing a role that, he's not truly a point guard. He's a 2 guard, and we're asking him to fill that role while Wes is sitting. So, the 8 turnovers, obviously that number is not great, but we're also asking him to do a lot that he's not really accustomed to doing. So, I'm okay with it. A lot of them are aggressive turnovers, which I can live with. I tell our guys all the time, I can handle the aggressive turnovers. I can't handle the soft turnovers. So some of them are aggressive. Some of them, we're putting him in a spot that he's not accustomed to running. So some of that's on us. But he's filling that role for us, and we need him. He's going to be huge for us. I think you'll see a much different guy this Friday.
What was his reaction when you came to him and told him that, Wes is coming, but he's going to have to sit for a while. I need you to run the point. How was he taken to that, moving over to an unnatural spot?
Didn't hesitate, and he just said, "Coach, I'll do whatever I can to help the team win," and that's why he's special.
So you've got him, obviously, as you said, Jake Vogeley making some really nice plays in the win over Harrison. They get 10 points, as you said, 9 rebounds, making plays on both ends of the floor. How do you feel outside of those 2 guys about the overall depth that you have? Do you feel like this is a roster that you could maybe go 8, 9, 10 deep, or are you right now paring it down to maybe a 7, maybe an 8-man rotation?
That's a great question. And that's always, I tell our guys every day is an audition to see who wants to play. So our practices are very competitive, and we don't have permanent spots. If you beat somebody out, then you deserve it and you're going to play. So right now we're probably at 7, 8. I'd like it to be 8 and 9 because that helps our pace and our tempo because we try to play fast. Which I know scoring 43, we did not play that fast, but like I said, you got to give Harrison credit. They did a great job in that regard. But yeah, we try to play 7, 8, 9 guys if we can. Absolutely. But hey, that's a work in progress, and the guys got to earn it.
Going back to that Harrison game for a moment, as you said, they took the air out of the ball, really slowing the pace down, and yet you still found a way to win. Again, as we said, atypical for how you want to play on a nightly basis out there. Does that kind of give you a better feeling for this team, knowing that there's probably going to be some other nights during the season where a team is going to look at you and say, hey, if we're going to win against CHCA, we got to do the same thing as Harrison and take the air out of the ball and limit the possessions. Does that give you better confidence with this team now, seeing it against outside competition, that if another team does that, your team will be confident in how they handle it?
Absolutely. We have high expectations this year with this group. We think we can do some serious damage this year. And I told our guys, I said, guys, when we, those games that we're talking about playing in the tournament and for the conference title, those are the kind of games we're going to be in. Teams are going to try to slow it down on us, try to grind us out. They know we want to go up and down. They don't want to play that way with us because they know we have the advantage in that regard. So it was perfect. We're going to see that when we play some of our league teams. They're going to do the same thing. Summit did it to us last year, and it bothered us a little bit. So, we'll be ready. We'll be ready.
You mentioned Summit there, and of course they won the division a year ago, and obviously, they're always strong in the division as well. But this is an interesting league the way it's shaping up this year. Of course, Summit's there. You're feeling pretty good about your team, but you also now have Roger Bacon and Purcell Marion coming in as well, and that's going to really shake up the dynamics of this league as well. I think you got Roger Bacon coming up here soon as well. So you're going to get a good look at them early on in the season. With all the retooling that's gone on, not only with your team, but also with the league in general, how are you evaluating this new alignment within the Miami Valley and also your team's chances in this division?
Well, the league got a lot stronger. It's a very, very competitive league. Like you said, we have Summit, Roger Bacon, Purcell, and us. I think, we're probably the top 4 in the league. And, those are going to be battles every single night. I really like our group. I really think we have a shot to win the league this year and do something special this year in the tournament. I really like our chances. When you get Summit, they're extremely well coached. They're hard nosed. They play tough. Coach Fleming brings that GCL style to our league, and then now we're adding 2 more GCL teams. So we got a lot of toughness, a lot of well coached teams in here, and it's going to be a battle. It's only going to make us better. I love it. I love the competition. I think it's great for our league. It's great for our guys, and we'll see what we're made of.
I know it's only one game into the season thus far here, and we're just kind of previewing things. Obviously, you've had some time to work with the boys in camp before the season gets started, but is there one area or another that you can look at with this team already and think, well, if we keep progressing in this trajectory, we're going to be better in this area than we were a season ago, which obviously, as we talked about, was a very good year?
Yeah, I think our focus this offseason has been our half-court offense, because our transition is kind of the staple of who we are. It's our program. We try to score 80 a game if we can. I think we've been kind of known for, around the city for that style of play. So when teams do slow it down against us, that's where we have to be better. We have to be more efficient in our half-court offense. Like I said, we were shorthanded a couple guys, which, I can't lie, it hurt us. It bothered us not having those guys. So at full strength, I think our half-court offense will be significantly better going down the stretch. And that's going to be our focus, because we know teams want to play slow against us. They want to grind us out. But we have to be better in the half court, and we spent a ton of time on it. So hopefully in a couple of games, you guys will see that.
You mentioned earlier about some of the names of some new guys that are coming in, kind of stepping into some new roles this year after losing so much from a year ago. How have they taken to this style of play, coming in, either moving up from JV or, like I said, West coming in, transferring in from Moeller? How have they taken to your style of play, and how quickly do you think they can adjust once we get into the meat of the season?
Well, the good news is that, our starting 5 was around. 4 of those guys were key contributors last year. So they were around playing. So that was an easy, they're used to it. They went through it every single day. And then West transferred in, so he got to be a part of it for a little bit because he was able to practice with us.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't able to play, but he was able to practice. So he was. Yeah. I really have 5 key guys from that 17-win team back. I know West didn't play, but he was able to practice. Yeah. So I have 5 key guys back. So there really wasn't much transition at all. That's why we think very highly of this group, that we have 5 key guys from that 17-win team and we hit the ground running, and we were ready to roll.
How has that made it easier for you as a head coach, knowing that you lost so much from last year off of a very, very good team, but yet you have a core group that's back, knows what needs to be done, knows your expectations, and can then pass that along to the new guys, including Wes, who's transferred in. I know, as you said, he's practiced, but seeing it on the game floor is a little bit different. And then also the younger guys coming up. How important and how much has that taken some stress off of you in trying to get this team ready for a difficult league?
Absolutely. It's been huge. Our guys are amazing. They really are. I love my players so much. They've been awesome. They literally give me everything they have every single day, and that's special. That makes coming to the gym so easy and so fun. I love working with these guys. They're amazing, and the leadership is just off the charts. Like, these guys hold each other accountable. I can just say we're running a drill, and boom, they're in it. They're running it. Our players run a lot of our stuff. And like you said, having so many guys that are back and used to what we're doing, it makes my life so much easier. I spent so much time last year working on our transition and kind of putting that in and being the staple. Now this year, we hardly have to work on it because we've been doing it for 2 years now. So it's just so much off our plate. Our guys know everything that we're doing, and it's a special group. We have a chance to do something pretty special here.
We talked about having a number of key guys back, a big-time transfer coming in. That's going to help things out, replacing a lot of what you lost a year ago. And obviously, you feel pretty good about your team where it stands right now. As we're getting into starting to really get into the grind of the season here coming up here in the next couple of weeks, what has you most excited about coaching this particular group this season, who, as you said, you feel like you can go win a league title with?
It's just the guys. It's a special group of guys. They're so together. It's an unbelievable group. Most of these guys have been playing together since they were in second grade. we have a lot of seniors, and they've been playing together since they were in second grade. And like I said, it's one of the hardest working groups I've ever had coaching. I mean, they just for 2 hours give me every single thing they have. It's just their passion, their energy, they care. I mean, we got together as a team and we talked about goals, and every single one of them had lofty goals, which I loved, and that starts every single day in practice. It's a battle every single day in practice. Our internal competition has gotten so much better. Our practices are tough, and our guys go at each other and they're trying to take spots away from each other. So that internal competition has been huge. It's all about the guys. It's a special group, and we have a chance to do something special.
I'll do a fill in the blank here before we let you go here on the season preview. CHCA will win the Miami Valley Conference this year if they do blank.
What's a good one? I think if we take care of the ball. I mean, that's the biggest thing. We're not going to win a league title, turn the ball 20 plus times. That can't happen. When we focus a lot on our possessions, because we play fast pace and we try to get up and down the court. So when you're turning the ball over 20 times, that's 20 times we're not getting a shot off, and that's 20 more chances the other team gets. And that's like pretty much the exact opposite of what we want to do. So we have to take care of the ball, which gives us more opportunities to get out and go and score more points. And I promise you, we will score more points this year.
Well, hopefully 43 is not the average we're talking about here in the next month or so, and I'm sure that will drive you even more crazy if that goes forward the rest of the season. But sounds like that's not going to be the case this year. A very solid nucleus coming back off of a very solid team a year ago, and obviously lofty expectations. And why not have those expectations in a very, very competitive league? Scott Rooks, we certainly appreciate the time here today, previewing the season, and we'll be looking forward to keeping track of how your boys do the rest of the season.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. That is boys basketball head coach Scott Rooks joining us here on the boys basketball season preview here on CHCAEagles.com and ESP Media, powered by Sidearm Sports.